Well, good evening, everybody. It's Noah, and I have a short teaching here on intimate sounds and prayer. As time goes by and as more of life's experienced, I've had those times where I need to pray and my vocabulary fails me. There are times when what I need to express to God is too high or too deep or even too painful for human language. In those times, things like tears or just the sounds of my heart are a language God understands. In Romans, Paul puts it this way: in the same way, the Spirit comes to us and helps us in our weakness. We do not know what prayer to offer or how to offer it as we should, but the Spirit Himself knows our need and at the right time intercedes on our behalf with sighs and groanings too deep for words. And that's Romans 8:26 in the Amplified Bible. Obviously, the Spirit can communicate perfectly with the Father, but what comes out of our mouth is imperfect. All that comes out of our mouth sounds like groaning or other almost involuntary sounds. But they do have a message, whether that be an expression of our love, our pain, our excitement, our pleasure, or our joy. Even in our dimension, when someone opens a present or sees something wonderful, they make a noise that communicates their surprise or joy. It's the same way with our godly communications. Well, the same's true when we have fully and consciously dedicated a time of worship to God that includes sexual union or even self-stimulation to orgasm. When we do so and are communicating with God in a sacrosexual manner, the sounds we make are transformed from simple involuntary sounds of pleasure to, quote, sighs and groanings too deep for words, unquote. It can be difficult as one gets closer to a combined physical and spiritual ecstasy to formulate phrases and words of praise. But fear not, for the sounds you make, when directed to God while in intimate communion with God and each other, are a prayer language that the Spirit can take and turn into a prayer. This is not true when they're made for selfish or purely carnal purposes, just like every sentence in everyday conversation isn't a prayer. But dedicating the time to the worship of God transforms those sounds of sexual bliss into sacrosexual prayers. So take some time, either together or alone, and have an intimate time in God's presence. Offer your living seed as a sacrifice of praise and your orgasms as a song of joy to God with sounds of the Spirit in powered prayer. Thanks. We'll talk to you again soon.